seats are much better out there than back here. Second of all, never easy playing family, and Coach McCasland helped make the Foster Pavilion possible with all his hard work and what he's helped contribute to Baylor basketball. And like Coach Tang, I'm sure there's a lot of pride with what we have here at Foster because they help pour into that. And I thought Coach Mack did a great job. I know he was under the weather, and they had several players under the weather. And one thing about his teams, they're always going to fight to the end, and they're never going to give you anything. So happy about us second half offensively. Really were efficient. First half, I thought we had a lot of good looks. Didn't make them, but we did a great job getting to the glass. Wish we'd have been more efficient with second chance points, but couldn't fault their effort. And I thought the crowd gave us a great lift for a midweek game, especially coming off an emotional game. It's hard to come back, play right away after emotional games. I mean, we see it every night in college sports. I mean, the team has a great win, and everybody's bragging about them. I think North Carolina lost tonight, and everybody was talking about their win. I know Kansas was so impressive against Houston, and that's what makes our K-State beats them at home. That's what makes our league so tough. If you're not ready each and every night, you got no chance.
Scott, I feel like one thing y'all do well is the extra pass, and that looked like it was on display, especially in the second half. Is that something that you drill into this team? Is it something that just kind of comes naturally?
I think two things. One, we recruit players that play the right way, care about good, better, best, making sure that it's not their shot, but it's our best shot. And if you got good teammates, then they sacrifice for each other. So credit our staff for bringing in players like that. Credit our players for being like that. At the same time, the tough thing, you get what I always grade afterwards is how are our looks. And if our looks aren't good, that's on me. If we have good looks and miss, then okay, how can we get more rebounds? But I thought we had really good looks tonight. And some nights you make them, some nights you don't. I know when we make them, I like it a lot more.
Hey, Coach. Spectrum News 1, Robbie Fueling. Coach McCasland was just talking about the relationship you guys have earlier. When you line up across the floor from him, what comes to mind, just given the time you guys had together?
Well, I knew he was sick, so I didn't want to spend a lot of time with him. But I'll show you how much he loves me. He only fist bumped and kept me away. So, again, this is really a competitive job, and it's hard when you play family. But at the same time, I know we wouldn't be where we're at without his contributions here. And I'm always cheering for him and Coach Tang as long as we're not playing him.
Scott back here in the mess of cameras right here. Yeah. RayJ added 21 points, pretty efficient tonight. What did you see from him, and what do you think a performance like this can do for his confidence moving forward?
Well, I think RayJ's been trending up, and I think getting used to Big 12 basketball and the grind required of it. And I mean, he probably could have had 8 or 9 assists if we'd have made some of the shots. So he's doing a good job. He's improved defensively. What excites me as a coach is I know we haven't played our best basketball yet, and at some point that's our goal. Before the year's out, we reach to that plateau, and we haven't been the best we can be on both ends of the court at the same time.
What fueled the 13-0 run? How big was Nunn during that? Obviously, he hit the 3, and then y'all started building on that.
Well, making some shots, but then the momentum, and that's where the crowd comes in. They have such an influence on the 13 people on the floor, and when you get it rolling, it's easy to string a couple together. But credit our guys for defensively doing a good job during that time, and then offensively taking advantage of what the defense gave us.
Seemed like you got along with the officials tonight pretty well.
Yeah, they did a good job tonight.
Coach, over here on the wall, on this wall.
Oh, my bad.
No worries.
We got all kinds of walls. We got the green wall, the white wall.
You put Langston at the 4 for Elias tonight. What is it you like about having him there?
Well, we've played the 4 guards before, and that's been an efficient lineup analytically for us. Sometimes you can't do it because of foul trouble, fatigue, rotations. But we went to it tonight, and it wasn't that Jalen was doing anything wrong. It was just that lineup gave us a burst, and we wanted to run that run out. And when you get on a roll, sometimes some lineups are just working, and that was working tonight.
Scott, talk about the impact that Yves just keeps having. I mean, we talk about the go-ahead 3, but he had that dunk right after that, and he had a couple of dunks in the game that came at key times for you guys.
I think what makes me most proud about Yves is he was 7 for 8 from the free throw line, and to get that, you have to work on it. And a lot of people don't put in the work to be successful. And Yves a great young man. It's great going to practice with him every day because he's a great teammate. But personally, it's fun because there's always a Sports Center play. And on years where you have guys like that, I remember Quincy Aces, Perry Jones. I mean, Epeudo would have a block, and you'd be like, man. And it just makes practice fun. and Yves one of those guys that he does some things that obviously you can't teach and can't coach, and God's really blessed him, and he's only played ball for 2.5 years. But to put in the work to go 7 for 8, that's what makes him different.
Scott, do you try to not put more pressure on yourself when you're playing a friend, a former assistant? Do you think about that, or?
Honestly, once the game starts, you're just locked into the game. But it's leading up to the game, and I knew he was sick, so I was worried. I want to make sure he was okay, and our doctors would have gotten him anything he needed if he needed anything. So, again, he's doing a great job. They're 5-4, and nobody expected him to be this competitive so quick.
Scott, you talked about Langston's impact. He obviously limped off. Is he okay? Have you gotten a chance to kind of talk to him after the game?
I haven't talked to him yet, but Langston's a tough kid, so I don't worry about him.
RayJ, y'all took control with a 13-0 run. You know, what kind of flipped for you guys and really started working there?
I mean, we started getting stops. They were scoring pretty much at will, and we were trading baskets a lot in the first half, and they even went up 6 points or something like that. And then we started getting stops in the second half and converting and running in transition.
Yves, how much of a priority has the free throw shooting been? You go 7 for 8. You look very comfortable there. How much time have you been putting in on that?
I mean, the entire team started working on it like 3 weeks ago. And I also I went to the gym by myself to shoot like 100, 200, 500 every day. And I guess it's paying off.
When you take a guy off the dribble like that, like when do you decide like you're going to dunk? Is it just kind of like, is it in your head like right when you get past him, or?
Whenever I pass him, I guess if I get the ball in my hands, I would just try to dunk it. If I can, I would just lay it in.
RayJ, I mean, you guys see Yves do Sports Center highlights every day in practice. I mean, when he faces a dude up and crosses him over and throws down a dunk, I mean, what does that do for you guys?
I mean, it gets the team super hyped, but I think we're like kind of numb to it a little bit because he does it all the time, and we shouldn't be because it's incredible.
He were kind of on the dunk, but on the one in that run, I mean, the crowd was kind of getting into it because you're just taking the lead. Is that the kind of play you're looking to make there? I mean, are you looking for a highlight play so you can get everybody pumped up, or is it just what you had going, and then you had the one right before halftime too?
I'm not necessarily looking for it. It just happens to be it, and whenever I can make an energy play that can, boost up the team, I'm just trying to do it.
Parker. RayJ back here, kind of back-to-back environments where the crowd was just insane. I mean, talk about, I guess, how you guys are energized by that and what you saw from the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd was great tonight, and it definitely helps, especially during runs. Like, we had a big run in the second half, and it gets super loud, and the other team can't hear anything. I think it really affects the other team, so it's huge for us.
Well, what a remarkable venue. It was awesome to be in Foster Pavilion. What a beautiful place. What an awesome college atmosphere. Obviously, Baylor's got a great team. Coach Drew's doing a great job with the team. Over the course of the game, I felt like we had a good feel for it, but then they had that stretch in the second half where we couldn't get a stop. And their switching caused us some problems. We panicked a few times. At the first half, we had a hard time rebounding. Second half, we did a better job rebounding, but we couldn't guard them. So that's a really good team. We didn't play our best, and we've got to play better in order to win in this league, especially on the road.
Let's start with questions for Joe. Nathan.
Joe, Coach has kind of talked a little bit about how you're kind of trying to balance the scoring impact that you want to have and the distribution impact you had. You did a little bit of both tonight. How has that process been for you, kind of trying to balance the two?
Honestly, that's just trusting Coach, honestly. I mean, I feel like, every game is different, and I feel like this game I had to put a bigger impact on the game from the jump. So I feel like every game is going to be different, but, it's still a process, and I'm still working on it, and I'm trusting Coach and, just believing in us and believing in his team.
What did you see from the big guys out there that didn't have Warren, had a couple guys off the bench that haven't played a ton? What did you see from EY and Kyron especially?
I'm actually proud of them, to be honest with you. I mean, they got thrown in the fire. They didn't know, Warren wasn't going to play. So we had to mentally prepare them right before the game started. But I'm happy and content with it. They didn't back down. They had a couple fouls. But that's just them. They got to get better. That's all. We got to work together as a team to get them better, get them ready. And I'm happy though. I'm happy that they got some minutes and they got a taste of it. And now it's just to build on it.
Joe, Michael Nichols, our Daily Bears, over here. What was the challenge of going against Baylor's bigs in Oshawuna and Missi?
Well, credit to those guys and the coaches for recruiting them. They're just very mobile. They can really move. They can block shots. They're tall, long arms, and, like I said, credit to them for being mobile and moving and stuff like that. But, we just got to be tougher than what we've been in the last 3 games, honestly.
All right, we'll let Joe. Questions from Coach McCasland?
Grant, kind of same thing to you. What did you see from Kyron and EY out there? Their first especially Kyron's first real run of the season.
Yeah, we needed them both in a game like this. They both got in foul trouble, so I think they were trying to figure out how to play the game without fouling but still be physical at the same time. And for the most part, you feel like that if you can just keep the game within reach, that maybe you can find a way to win it at the end. And for the most part, I thought those guys did that for us. The hard part about game prep is we really just need to practice, and you don't get many opportunities to practice this time of year. So kind of like what Joe said, for them to step in a game like this and contribute was a positive for us.
And you guys have had a lot of close games in conference play. You were winning some of them. Now you're kind of on the wrong end of them. Is there any difference between what you guys got out of those wins and what these last couple of games have been for you?
Well, obviously, playing against great teams that have an identity, and this team does. I mean, they got great guard play. They got to the free throw line. That's kind of been the formula for us is don't turn the ball over, and how do we get to the free throw line? And we turned the ball over, and they scored off of them, and they got to the free throw line and a significant more times than we did. So those are 2 big contributors to our success. Even when we haven't rebounded well, when we've done those 2 things, then we've given ourselves a chance. And today we just turned it over too many times. We're in important spots that I thought hurt our team, and then weren't physical enough to get to the free throw line, and they were.
Coach, back here behind the cameras, Parker Ream, Fox 44 Sports. just wanted to kind of talk about Scott and going up against him. What was that like? How special was that just to coach from two different benches for the first time?
Yeah, actually, it was the second time. I was the head coach at Midwestern State back in the day, and we came in and played in an exhibition game during the season. But this being, a part of having been a part of his staff, I just love him. I really do. I just respect him. But when you prepare for a game like this, it's not about that, It's about these guys and these players. And I'm thankful for our team. And I'm thankful they've been through a lot this year already in a short amount of time. And so, more than anything, I just wanted to give them the best chance I could to help them win. That's what I thought this was about. A lot of great people here that I love, and I love Coach, and I love a lot of people on that staff. Chris Nottingham's on our staff. He's our video coordinator. He's been a part of this program. And so for him, he's just been huge for us. And it's guys like that I think make Coach Drew so special, is because he just cares about everybody if you've been around him. So we haven't been feeling great. Our team hasn't. Coach Drew's one of those guys that called me and he's like, hey, you want to spend the night at my house? I'm like, no, Coach, I don't want to do that. It just shows you what he cares about people. And he's like, hey, I can get you a Z-Pack. He just is an amazing guy. And so this game is about, to me, is about preparing our team as best we could to win. And obviously didn't do a great job of that.
Coach Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib, just to kind of build off that last question a little bit, how much do you and Scott, and maybe Tang, communicate during the season? And obviously you all got your own teams to lead, but it sounds like obviously you do talk.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to communicate these days is through text messages, obviously, and voice text. And Coach is the guy that holds all this together. That's the truth. And he's always putting us in group text, and if you don't respond, you feel bad about it. So he's just great at it, man. He's a connector. He loves people well. He's a servant, cares about people more than he cares about himself. He never wants it to be about him. But I think he is always trying to figure out a way. So, we talk just about every couple days, every day. One of us all in a group text or cheering for each other and pulling for each other. And games like this, I know, make it hard on him, but he's tremendous.
Coach, Robbie Fueling, Spectrum News 1. When you come back to Waco, what are the first things that come to your mind just as a former player and a coach?
Man, a lot, honestly, but really just how thankful I am to have the opportunity to be around such great people, man. And I walk into this room and I see Kevin, I see just a lot of people, John, who's covered since I played, just got great people in here. And just people that I think you just appreciate the more you do this, the people. So just great people. My daughter's in the stand. She's going to school here. So really awesome to be around family. A lot of my college buddies were back in town to be here. So just a lot of beautiful people that I love to be around.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Grant, I guess you were just trying to do everything you could to slow down that run, but you called your last timeout with 6.5 minutes to go. Is that what you were trying to do, just anything you could to slow that run down?
Yeah, well, you don't take timeouts with you. So we, felt like if we could keep the game close enough and keep being able, because we just had so many guys that haven't played that many minutes in these positions. And so with Rob having to play more tonight and with Kyron playing, and then we went small, I was just trying to give those guys as much as we could. We come out of a timeout and we didn't want Missi going right. But then we just let him go right and dunk it. It's like those are scouting mistakes you just can't make in a game like this. And so you get these timeouts and you're trying to remind them, like, this can't happen again, and do a better job. And unfortunately, there weren't enough timeouts to withstand that.
Final question here. Ishmael Johnson, Dave Campbell's. This team has a different identity from what you kind of left at UNT a little bit. Is that more of a personnel thing? You know, you guys are a lot more up-tempo on offense, a lot more perimeter-oriented. Is that more of like this style of play suits the personnel that you have, or is that, you know, something that maybe you couldn't necessarily do at your last stop?
Yeah, no, ultimately we're going to give our team the best chance to win. And, you know, this team has elite perimeter shooting and good physicality, but we're not the most physical basketball team. And so to get into half-court grinds isn't necessarily give this team the best chance to win. I mean, we got to figure out a way to guard better and rebound. But the biggest thing for me is just loving these guys and helping them be their best. And these guys are at their best when we can give them some space to shoot the basketball, and it's fun to watch, honestly. I love coaching them. That's why I told them at the end, like, I didn't like the things that we did over the course of the game, but that last 3.5 minutes, to, you know, just the fight that it takes to put yourself in the right position, it shows you the character of this team. And the more that we get, you know, time to practice, I think you see kind of this team can really open the floor up and can score in transition, and it's a fun team to coach. Just wish we were tougher rebounding the basketball, and I think we can get there. We just need more practice. It's hard to find that in the Big 12, but that's what we need.
All right, thank you, guys.
Hey, guys. Yeah.